Buying and selling a home at the same time? You want to buy another home, but you must also sell your current one. In today's video, we'll show you how to do both. From the outside looking into it, it looks rather like a simple process. You just put your home up for sale, and when it sells, you go and buy another one. But because of the current housing market, with overwhelming buyer demand and a low supply of inventory, things are moving very, very quickly. So if you are in the position where you have to sell something in order to buy something else, it might be a little different than what you are thinking. So I want you to take some time and walk you through the process so that you can make informed decisions as a potential home seller as well as a potential home buyer. My name is Simmi Kher. I'm a real estate broker here in Sammamish, Washington. And one thing I want to mention, as I always do, is that real estate is very local. Right now, I'm telling you what's happening in my local market. So in your market, if you have a lot of inventory and buyer demand is low, it might be a little different and might be a little easier for you to go through that process. But where I am located in the east side of Seattle area, at the moment we have a low supply of homes. We have a very, very high buyer demand, and therefore it's very difficult to both buy and sell at the same time. And we are going to walk you through the process right now. So if you are someone who is looking to buy another home, you already own a property, the most ideal position to be in, or if you will, as a seller, to buy the next property without selling your property until after you purchase your next home. But the caveat is that most people can't do that, because you have to be able to qualify for both mortgage payments. You have to be able to qualify for the home that you right now live in and also qualify for the home that you're planning to buy. You also have to be able to have the down payment to purchase the new home, because so many buyers get their down payment from the equity in their current home. It makes it very difficult out there for many buyers to go through that process without selling their property. So if you are not in that position, like many people in this housing market, we are going to walk you through the options that you might have right now so you can navigate them and put you in the best position, not only being able to sell your home, but also buy a home in this real estate market. When it comes to selling your home, you have a couple of options, and I am not going to go over everything you need to think about as a seller when selling your home, but I'll put a list of things I think you need to think about before putting your home on the market in the description below. As a seller, you also have a couple of different choices. You can sell your home and go and rent something and have that cash ready to buy when the property becomes available. You also have the ability to sell your home and potentially rent back for a certain period of time, let's say 30 or 60 days, while you go out and find that property. But the caveat to both these situations is what happens if the market doesn't present you a property that you would like to purchase. You don't find your dream home within the time frame. Say you're going to go out and rent something for short term, and looking for that property, you can't find it. You decide to sell your home and rent back for 60 days. While you go out and look for that property, in theory, it sounds really great, but if there's not a property out there that you like and you want to purchase, then you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place at the end of the day when it comes time to move out of the property and have to find another place to live. Maybe you can extend the lease, but know that on short-term rental, maybe that's not even a choice. Buyers will give you a little more time to rent back your own home. So if they don't give you that extended time period, you have to move again and make the move while again you look for another property. So it's not an ideal by any means to sell, go rent, or to sell and rent back unless you already have a property identified or you're already in escrow in that property, or you make it contingent, which is going to take us into our next option. Whereas a potential seller, now we have something before we get into something. I want to make very clear that something that is very, very important as a potential seller is that also a buyer, it's very important that you get pre-approved early on in this process. You might be thinking, well, why do I need to get pre-approved? I already own a house and have bought one, so of course I can buy something else, right? Well, maybe not. Credit scores can change, your thought of what you can afford might actually change because the interest rates are just going up higher and higher every day, and therefore you are buying a more expensive property in many cases when you are selling the one you already own and buying something else. As the interest rates change, your income changes, your debt changes, it might affect how much you can qualify to purchase. And I have always seen it in my career. People go to sell a property and buy something else and then get pre-approved after they're already in the process and can't realize what they can actually afford to qualify for the home that they want to purchase. So my recommendation to you is that you get pre-approved right in the beginning, so that as a buyer in this market, even though you are a seller, it's imperative that you go through the process early on and have your agent get you an estimated closing statement with the amount you're going to walk away from your current home. That will give you a solution of how much money you're going to make from selling of your home, how much more money do you need to buy your next home. It'll be great to have a conversation with the lender to go through the pre-approval process just to make sure you are in line with what you thought and you're able to qualify for that price point that you thought you could afford, and then you're good to go. That way, when you're making offers and not having to run and get pre-approved the last minute, especially in this crazy housing market where things are moving very, very quickly. Even though you're selling a home and buying something else, the listing agent on the home that you are buying is going to want to see your pre-approval. And therefore, you have to have it going and you will have to present that pre-approval. So why not do it early on? It's imperative that you do it first. The way you're not going to be trying to play catch up, and at the end of the day, you are not biting off more than you can chew, regards to trying to purchase a home that you might not be able to afford. So if you have a lender, fantastic. If you don't have a lender and need a great lender anywhere in US, do reach out to me and I will be happy to connect you with someone who works and thinks like me and is absolutely an expert and someone that I personally know that can guide you through the process. Now, a moment ago, I was talking about buying with contingent on selling your property. But I see a lot of sellers out there at the moment just looking at houses they want to buy, and then they end up calling the agent like me saying, "Hey Simmi, I found a house and I want to purchase." And my next question to them is, well, do you need to sell your house too that you are living in right now? And they're like, yeah, I don't need to sell my house. But the problem is that it's not listed. And in order for a listing agent on the house that you want to buy take you seriously, you need your house at least on the market. And in some cases, you might be able to get it done, but in many cases, you're going to need that house not only on the market, but also in escrow. You need to be able to show that you are a serious buyer out there, and to be able to show you are a serious buyer, you need to show that you know where the money is coming from. And if that requires selling your home needs to be on the market. When you're getting pre-approved, you're having that conversation about wanting to buy something else. This is the time when you talk to your agent up front, get their guidance on how to best navigate this in this environment that we are right now in, because things move very quickly and you need to be able to put your best foot forward when making an offer. And part of that is having your house on the market prior to actually going out there and searching for the property. So that's going to take us into this contingency idea. When you need to sell your home to buy home, it's called being a buyer contingent upon selling your home. And in this market, the best way to approach that is to have your home at least on the market, available for sale. And in many cases, it's best actually to have that property in escrow and have a buyer working with you. With the idea, they're willing to have a buyer and stay a buyer while you go out and find a replacement home. Therefore, you are never at risk of losing your property until you find the replacement home. Now, prior to the market that we are in now, it's kind of been frowned upon to have a seller contingent upon finding a replacement home because many buyers don't want to deal with that. Here in Seattle area, you have to have your home on the market and you cannot buy a home contingent to the sale of your home. If you are one of those who are fortunate enough to hold the 2 mortgages, then my recommendation would be buy your home first and then immediately as you go in under contract in the home you are buying, put your home on the market within a week. That way, you're closing both your homes within a 15-day time period and you're not going to be having the burden of both mortgages for a long time. Another great way is to take that HELOC out of your home and use that for your down payment so that you're able to buy your home first and then sell your home. In this market, I have done several transactions like that, where we've been able to buy the home and then put the other home on the market within a week's time. So if you found this information valuable, then please like, share and subscribe. I am Simmi, your real estate professional.